Once upon a time, in a castle way too extra for a guy in metal armor, a man with a mask, a PhD, and a whole lot of ego decided to time travel, kidnap the Fantastic Four, all in the same issue. Hello and welcome to another session of Therapy and Panels. Yep, we are talking about the Fantastic Four's number one arch villain, the debut of Doctor Doom. Created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, the two were, and I quote, trying to dream up a soul-stirring, super sensational new supervillain for the series. In a 1987 interview, Kirby commented on Doctor Doom's design, stating, "Doctor Doom was the classic conception of death, of approaching death. I saw Doctor Doom as the man in the iron mask, who symbolized approaching death. It was the reason for the armor and the hood. Death is connected with armor and inhuman-like steel. Death is something without mercy and human flesh. Contains that element of mercy. Therefore, I had to erase it, and I did it with a mask." Kirby described Doom as being paranoid, wrecked by his twisted face, and wanting the whole world to be like him. He also went on to say that Doom is an evil person, but he's not always evil. He was, in quotations, respected, but through a flaw in his own character, he was a perfectionist. So let's see how the introduction of one of Marvel's greatest villains occurred as we take a look at the Fantastic Four issue number 5. The cover art is okay, showing Doom having the 3 boys trapped in a room deprived of oxygen and Sue tied up in the next room. There are some questions I have with this. Doom is obviously speaking from a monitor, so what does Reed here think he's trying to do, stretching up at it? Also, why is Sue invisible while she's tied up? What does she think she's going to accomplish? We begin the story in the Baxter building with Johnny Storm reading a comic. If you look closely, it appears to be the Incredible Hulk book, which from what I looked up came out the same time this issue did. Cute. Until Johnny makes a remark about the Thing looking as ugly as the Hulk, causing the two to get into a fight. Sue and Reed subdue the two quickly, and then suddenly the building becomes encased in a fireproof net. Oh, it must be one of Spidey's just practical jokes. Ha ha ha, that little scamp. A voice comes from the helicopter, which Reed quickly recognizes as someone he knew from college. "Oh, it's my crazy ex-girlfriend. She just can't get the hint that I've moved on." No, it is none other than Victor Von Doom, who back in college Reed recalls was a brilliant scientist who was also into the dark arts, and he was kicked out of school due to an experiment combining both science and sorcery that went wrong, destroying his lab and his face. Last hearing that he went wandering off in Tibet. Doom has the Invisible Woman brought up to him as his hostage, and then takes the rest of them all to his castle and reveals his plans there. Good. Now that Doom has all of you here, it is time for the slumber party. No, he tells the 3 that he has invented a time machine and demands that they travel to the times of Blackbeard the pirate to claim his legendary treasure, using Sue as leverage if they refuse. Having no other choice, they accept, and Doom sends them off. Once they arrive in the past, they steal some clothes and think of a way to locate Blackbeard, only to be drugged by a pirate who wants them to be in his crew. Once the 3 wake up, they start taking on the pirates with little effort until they spot a ship over the sides. It looks like the captain is a very drunk Johnny Depp? What? The 3 of them, with the forced help from the pirates, decide to attack the enemy ship, and with the biggest help from the Thing, take it over with the pirates dubbing him Blackbeard. Reed and Johnny locate the treasure and decide to pull a fast one on Doom, since he didn't say to return what was in the chest to him. The Thane, enjoying becoming Blackbeard the pirate, decides he wants to stay in the past, much to the others' dismay, and before they can think of bringing him back, has his men throw them overboard, thanks to Johnny being soaked from earlier, unable to flame on. However, before the two are thrown off, a twister appears, destroying the ship, having the three of them to survive along with the chest. Well, that's convenient. I guess the near-death experience knocked some sense back into Ben. That and Stan didn't want to make this become a two-part comic issue. And he decides to return home with Reed and Johnny, as the time Doom gave them is up and they return to the present. Oh yes, now let's see what Doom as a treasure has in store for him. Why is there just a picture of two butt cheeks and an orange mountainside? Ben tries to get a hit off of Doom, only to be revealed as a Doombot, and the real Doom trapped them in a room to deprive them of oxygen. Unfortunately, Doom forgot about the Invisible Woman, who sabotages the controls and opens the room, saving the others. The four do their best to try and capture Doom, but he manages to escape with the jetpack, ending the issue. And that was the beginnings of Dr. Doom, and from my diagnosis, this was a lot of fun. We get a good idea on the character of Doom from his intellect, ego, and look, which is all just basic classic knowledge of him now. And the time travel adventure is just some fun additions to the story, since Doom doesn't have much of his origins told until later on, which may or may not be something we look at another day. But there is good reasons why Doom has stuck around as long as he has, and this clearly shows. And with that, that is the end of today's session. I'd like to thank you all for attending. If you liked the video, please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, I am the Super Guru, signing off. And during the timing of this video, I just want to wish you all a very happy Easter.